Hello, everyone, and welcome to Conversations in Horror, the podcast. I'm your host, Kevin L. Powers. I'm also the owner and operator of Something Wicked Entertainment and Events, and I want to welcome you to our amazing program today. Now, if you have been with us for the last, who knows how long we've been on the air, I hope that you have been with us, you will realize that what we do is we take an individual film and we kind of critique, analyze, and generally have a conversation about it, which means that we just like to have fun with it. These films can range between different decades and different subgenres within the horror main genre, because we like to take a little bit of a detour off into all the other types of subgenres that are not always given enough love. We like to kind of highlight some of that, which is why I'm saying that, because one of the films we're doing today is one of those type of movies, because the found footage genre is not one of those great genres that is finally talked about anymore. It is something that had a very, very quick popularity heyday, and it kind of slowly died off really fast, and now people don't make them nearly as much as they should, because when there is a good one, there is a good one. That being said, the film we're talking about today may not range in that high of caliber, but we're going to see where it does range at. And that movie is Greystone Park from 2012. And to discuss this movie with me today, I have my special guest, Mr. Jim Adams.
Thank you,
Jim.
I have bad news to report. We found the found footage film.
Yeah, so anyone who's been listening to the show for the last year or so will realize what we are doing is we're hitting a lot of found footage films, because we are in the process of producing a kind of like a found footage companion book. Because
I think I hold the record for co-hosting the found footage films.
Yeah, you do now. You do now. Some of the earlier ones that we did.
Yeah, you did some earlier ones I didn't know about, but that was okay. That was cool.
But the thing is, it's an unspoken about subgenre that we are speaking a lot about some of these smaller films, of which Greystone Park is one of them. Yeah. And there is a reason why, and we will get into that kind of conversation. You know, Jim, we talked a little bit about our experiences with this movie and how fondly we remember it.
I don't know if I'd go that far, but yeah.
Tell me a little bit about your impressions, or when you first saw the movie, or when.
Well, you were putting together the list of found footage films when you found out that I actually watched these movies. You said, "Oh, we need somebody to do it." So, and you got a couple on there I had not heard of, and Greystone Park was one of them, and I even got the name wrong when I went to try to find it. I put in Greystoke Park because I thought maybe it was like a Tarzan found footage film, but no. Then I finally found it and watched it, and then we weren't able to do the show for a while. We had to reschedule it a couple of times. So before we did this recording, I thought, I better go watch it again just to refresh my memory, because I've got I think a few memories of this thing. I'm pretty sure I've seen it. And then I get 5 minutes into the film and I go, I don't think I've seen this movie before. And then I get about halfway through the film and I go, oh yeah, I have seen this movie before. So that should give you an idea, folks, that it doesn't really stay with you too well.
I had a very similar experience with it as well, because I thought I had seen this movie before we scheduled it. I thought I was just going to be rewatching one that I've already seen before. But as I watched it, I was like, heck, I don't remember none of this. I said I'd seen it, so I must have saw it a long time ago when it originally came out. And then when I went to go do my review on it, I realized I had never reviewed it. And I was like, shit, I guess I did see this movie.
But, okay, well, that was almost the same kind of experience. Mine was, I did see this one.
But the thing is, there's so much in this film that is like so many other found footage films.
Oh, it's so easy to confuse with so many of them. It's like, okay, you got a bunch of dumb idiots who are going to go spend the night in a haunted whatever asylum, hospital, school, name it, hotel, anything. In this case, it's an asylum. And of course, they screw everything up and get in big trouble. And it's like, I don't know, there's probably like 20 I can think of that have almost the same storyline, and it follow almost the same script.
So yeah, so for many of you out there who may have never seen this movie, because you probably are like us, I remember the poster for this film. So I've seen the poster.
Poster's great.
But for some reason, I just don't remember seeing the movie. I could have seen the movie and just never reviewed it. I just don't remember.
Yeah, could be. Yeah.
Because normally I used to see all of the found footage movies as they were being made. But there was a lot in the aughts and the early teen to 2000 teens that were very much the exact same. And so I don't remember. That being said, it's a really simple concept, like Jim, you were already saying, is like these three people, Sean, Alex, and Antonella, are going sneaking into
sneaking it. That's important.
Yeah, it's sneaking into a supposed mental institution / hospital. But the thing is, they don't really have a reason to do it. They're not like filmmakers per se, and they're not like doing
no, they're not ghost hunters or anything like that. No.
Doing it to be doing it. So there's a subtle lack of motivation in this film that kind of gets on your nerves as you're watching it, because you're like, why? Why
are you here? And why are you following this one guy who's the biggest idiot in the world?
He's not. See, for me, I don't think he's an idiot. He's one of those people.
Well, no, I mean, he thinks he's a hot shot, and that gets him into trouble.
And he thinks that he knows what he's doing. And he really, really, really wants to see this ghost ghost in action. So he coaxes it out of everything that happens in the movie. But while he's doing that, and he thinks he's being genuine, his other companions, I think it was it Sean and Antonella, because I think Alex is the main one.
Alex,
Sean and Antonella are like, okay, we're being put on here.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they're not taking it seriously at all.
They can't take Alex seriously.
No.
Film. And so if they can't take their leader seriously, we as an audience can't take it seriously either.
That's true.
And it's a really odd film to watch that way. It's like, it literally is like they decided we're just going to go, we have this great location. It might be a real haunted house. Let's go shoot a movie.
Let's just go do it. Yeah.
Just go do it. And I don't know about you, but I can see why some people walk out on this movie, because the moment that you don't have an understanding of why these characters are doing what they're doing is the moment you start to step away, and that suspension of reality is lost.
That's right. Well, they tried to bring a little bit of realism into this. It took 2 viewings for me to pick up on this, because I missed it on the first time out. And folks, you're going to hear me say this. You're going to say, how the hell did you miss this? This all starts with a dinner at Sean's father's house. Well, now Sean's last name is Stone, and his father is a real filmmaker named Oliver Stone. Might ring a bell with a few folks. They might have heard of him. And that's how they get talking about ghosts and stuff. I think this movie never would have gotten made if Sean was not the son of Oliver Stone. I got a feeling Oliver may be the one that put up the money for this thing. And they never, you don't really ever know. But and then they go on their big search, because he's tickled the ivories, so to speak, about ghosts and stuff. He tells this ghost story about this was it Crazy Kane, who it was on a camping trip with some scouts or something. They was talking about this Crazy Kane woman that haunted people out in the woods and stuff. So his son goes, yeah, we ought to try that. And then Alex jumps all over it and says, yeah, we're going to do this. And away we go. So they try to bring a little reality into them. Probably say, hey, Oliver Stone's in this movie. You got to go see it.
Oh, my God. And you know what? I don't know if you've ever seen this movie, but the whole dinner sequence in this that semi-opens the movie, for me, felt like the dinner sequence in the movie Incident at Loch Ness.
Yes, I have seen that movie. Okay, you're absolutely right.
I thought that was a brilliantly conceived dinner sequence that opens the movie up.
Yeah.
I swear, I was like, because the camera seemed to be jumping between people's hands for no apparent reason.
Yes.
That was another thing that bugged me about this movie. It's like the camera would just like take these, like, if you're shooting a found footage movie, the camera doesn't flip flop to get close ups and wide shots that are cut between.
No, and it did it all throughout the movie. We've talked about the mistakes that found footage directors make sometimes.
Yeah,
this guy made it all the time.
It was one of those films that is trying to be a found footage movie, but it's also saying, well, we don't want to shoot it like a found footage movie. Let's shoot it like a regular movie.
They shot it like a regular film. Yeah, when people would talk, the camera just happened to be on them. And
It was annoying, and then
It was annoying. Yeah.
camera just flip flops between people's hands all the time with very little motivation. I was like, oh man.
I think I knew the hands better than I know the actors. I'm really got to admit.
So that those type of little, and we've talked about found footage films and that breaking of the aesthetic takes you out of the film a lot, and that's one of the things that we think that a lot of bad found footage films do, either to kind of spruce up the atmosphere and the cinematography of the found footage itself, or they just don't know how to fix it, shoot it right when they're shooting it.
I think it's more the latter. I really do. I mean, it's like, and I know both the two writers, Alex and Sean, and Alex, of course, plays Alex in the movie, and Sean plays Sean in the movie. They both went to film school and all that stuff. And the thing that gets me on this is that I could see every aspect of this film I've seen in other films.
Yeah.
So it's almost like they just stole anything they could and then put this movie together. Yeah. It's like there's not an original concept anywhere in this movie, and it's
there are a lot.
That's just gets on my nerves too.
There are a lot of borrowed aspects from the Blair Witch Project in this
Oh
movie.
God, yes. I mean, like almost framing the scene exactly like they did it in that. Yes.
I don't recall, since I don't remember if I saw it in 2012 or not, if this was like, if it was trying to be clever back then in 2012 and we're just watching it now and realizing how really cliche it is, or if it was cliche back then when he shot it.
I mean, 2012 was sort of at the tail end of the real heyday of a lot of, I mean, Paranormal Activity continued on. But right around 2010, 11, and 12, you're sort of tailoring back. I mean, that you had Apollo 18 come out, which is what I think one of the better ones that did come out. But I mean, it really, if you want, you go back to 1999, 2000, right around there for Blair Witch. Mm-hmm. And then those next 5 or 6 years, that's when you're really hitting the heyday of the found footage stuff. Yeah. That's when you're really kicking and getting some original, concepts and ideas like that. So by now they're running out of ideas, I guess. But I mean, it's just like, okay, how many quote unquote ghost hunter type movies can you make found footage? Come on, guys. I mean, and I think they were stealing some stuff from Ghost Hunters, which is, not really a found footage, as a reality TV show. And, from the guys that I've met, a lot of this stuff really happened on their TV show. But I mean, I saw a lot of that stuff in this movie. It was just like, man, these guys are just going, if anybody's got something to do with ghosts, they're stealing it from this movie.
Well, I am under the honest opinion that, and I don't know because I haven't researched this. I'm just saying it as a theory that they found a haunted mental hospital location and decided to shoot a movie there.
Oh, I can answer that question for you. They found many. They shot this in about 4 or 5 different.
Are you kidding me?
Abandoned. They took 6 months to find every abandoned big building they could find, to put a shooting, schedule together. So I think it was about like 4 or 5. It was like a hospital and an asylum and, whatever, just anything they could match up with what they had. And then they shot it in 17 days.
Wow.
So, which almost suggested to me that maybe they didn't have permission to shoot in these buildings. That's why they had to have so many different ones.
That's quite interesting. Or the one that they had power to, they used like the lights and scenes.
Yeah, maybe that was it. Yeah, because if you notice in the movie, there are lights in it, and then there aren't, and then there are, and it's like, okay, how do you decide? They do mention something about a generator or something in the beginning. And that gets thrown out. It's like a throwaway line. But then I kept thinking through the movie, and that's probably why the first time through I missed so much. Like, okay, where'd the lights come from this time? I mean, but they're not lighting this other part, and
Interesting. I did not know that, but I
just found that out like a couple days ago when I was looking into it,
because I did like the look of the locations that they were using.
Yeah, no, I mean, I believe first time I saw this was all one building.
Yeah, yeah.
So they did a good job of matching that up. I'll give them that.
Yeah. So that's one of the aspects I did like about the movie, and I
Yeah.
can see now why, because they used 4 different locations.
And it reminded me a lot of 100 Ghost Street. They stole a lot from those people too, I think. I saw a lot of similarities there. Very, very much so.
Yeah. The one similarity we didn't see a lot, or I haven't encountered a lot in these type of movies, is the fact that they pushed that whole, what's it, the serpent's eye and the kind of cult aspect.
Oh, the serpents, they do. Yeah, they have one reference to it in there. Yeah, one big one at the end.
Yeah.
And it's sort of like, okay, why did you do that?
Oh no, they have a small one at the beginning when they first get into the hospital.
That's true. Yeah, you're right.
But then it really comes into play towards the end.
Yeah,
trying to bring in the whole cult aspect, which we'll have to discuss because I was a little confused about that myself.
There's a lot of confusing parts about that.
Yeah, because the ideal, I mean, like 2/3 of this movie is just these 3 characters wandering through the hospital.
Yeah,
and Alex has different theories about what's happening there, and that's generally what we're seeing.
And he's the first one to see the ghost. One of the ghosts, I should say.
Yeah,
I think it's Crazy Kane. Oh my God! No, Crazy Kane was out in the woods, dude, not in the asylum. But that's all right.
That's why you could barely believe anything he says.
No, that's why I kept thinking, it's like, oh man, he's just.
So it always seems like there's a big setup, and of course there's a red herring 2/3 of the way in the movie when not Sean, what's his name? The guy. John. See,
John. I forgot. Wait, we didn't mention old John. Yeah, he plays a part about halfway through.
Yeah, John is supposed to be the original member of the team that makes them 4, but then decides that the night that they're going in that
he got sick.
Got sick. Which makes it set up like there's obviously some type of subterfuge going on here anyways. And, Sean feels that throughout the entire movie because he doesn't trust Alex, and neither does Antonelli.
Didn't that happen in some other found footage film we've talked about?
I think it did.
Every time, and when I saw it again, that was one of the few things I remembered about this movie when I saw it the first time, was that, yeah, there's going to be a guy playing a joke on him. And it was like, and then I thought, oh, maybe it is a different movie. And then all of a sudden, then John shows up and says, oh yeah, there he is.
Yeah. So, yeah. So
it seems like I saw that somewhere else too.
Yeah. Well, it's the thing is, it's coming. For the it's so telegraphed, which is why you don't believe anything Alex says throughout the whole movie, because it all seems like a big hoax,
big setup. Yeah.
But then, of course, we get our first, real, ghostly things, because we start seeing the cult members, which is where it throws me off a little bit about the film, because they kind of show up, and they're not, physical. They're, they could be ghosts. They're not supposed to be ghosts.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be happening. That's what confused me about the movie, because I thought it would have been much cooler if they were cult movies and not ghosts.
Yeah, me too. I could have gone for that. Yep.
Yeah, I could have gone in with the movie if it had committed to them being a cult that uses this mental hospital, and that's why we see them.
Well, either go one way or the other. Either do the cult, follow through on the cult thing, or make it the ghost of these people. I mean, they make it think it's going to be the ghost of these people that have been tortured. Yeah. And they go into some real treatments that people were subjected to in the early days of mental illness in the 19th century and the early 20th century, some of the horrible things that we've seen in other movies. These are actual documented things that these mental experts did to people. And I thought that's what they were going to follow through with, but
same here.
That did not happen.
No, I was a little disappointed at that. I thought that the whole cult thing was weird.
I was sort of looking for that.
Yeah, I was thinking, because they set up this hospital where bad things were done to patients, and those patients' spirits still roam in the hallways, because we go into their so-called witches' room where all tortured, and of course we go. If I'm not getting this one confused with another movie, they go upstairs to the room where the fire started, and the whole place, the whole floor burns, and that's one.
No, you weren't confused.
Okay, good.
They had that too. Yeah, I know that was definitely one of the other movies.
I see. But in this one, we see that floor, which is why
Yep.
I'm saying they could have. The location looks great because of scenes like this, where we get to go in there, we see like the whole place is burned,
And then they have the chapel where a lot of weird stuff happens at the end, which is a definite.
Yeah.
That's. I won't say an homage because I think they just stole stuff, but I mean from the original Haunting. The movie The Haunting, that reminded me so much of that with the big cross and all that stuff in the chapel. So
yeah. Tell me a little bit about your whole the thing that bothers me is the cult thing, dude.
I wish they'd done more with that.
Because that is not something that I've seen done in a found footage movie.
Not really, no.
Not unless you want to think of the movie Sacrament. The cults have not, in my opinion, been utilized enough, and that's
I think the best movie about that would be like The Believers, that from way back. That's in the 80s, which is one of my favorites. There's a real underground, the Santeria cult, and all that, and right in New York City, and nobody knows it exists.
Yeah, stuff like that.
I would have loved to have seen it. And then there was a couple. There's a couple in the 90s or whatever that came out with some fairly big names, like Richard Lynch was in a big one.
Oh, Bad Dreams?
The young girl, and they tried to escape, and then they went back together. And then you've got the one with I can't think of her name, Jensen. She was on Battlestar Galactica. It was the one with Ernest Borgnine and stuff, and the Succubus. She played a succubus or whatever, and it was a cult thing going. So there were a few scattered in there, but not many that have really followed that storyline, which is a shame because it's a good storyline.
Yeah,
and I'm with you. I wish they had. That's the way they had gone in this one. I would
because that would
be much kinder with them right now if they had done that.
The thing is, because it's set up as like a typical found footage film, when it gets to cult aspects, it kind of throws you for a loop, but not a very good one. Because it just played it in the middle. There might be cult members, they might be spirits. We don't know.
I'm
gonna explain it. You just have to watch the movie. But the thing is, the characters aren't interesting enough for me to actually want to care about the cult or what happens to them.
That's true. I mean, they've got a nice looking gal in there. The one that plays Antonella. It's not her real name. Her real name is Aaliyah Lentini. I think she's Italian. She's not. I mean, she's born in Brooklyn, New York, or whatever, and has done some acting. She's still acting now. But I was like, I gravitate towards the women. Yeah, I check this gal out. And she disappears during the movie, that's the only time I really perked up and thought, okay, where are they going with this? Where's this going to go? She just vanished. There's one guy behind her, one guy in front of her. It's dark. They just got flashlights basically and the light on the camera, and all of a sudden they go, "Where'd she go?" And she just disappeared. And I thought, okay, that's good. And then they got into sort of a possession thing with her.
Yeah, I was about to bring that up. A possession thing with her.
Then they just drop it, and then it's just gone. I mean, it's just like, okay, so somebody just jumped in and possessed her and said, okay, I'm done, and let her go, or what? I mean, that's the part that drove me nuts. In addition to some of the, I don't have any problems with the handheld stuff. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of people, it drives them crazy, and it's hard to watch if you're in a theater because it exaggerates it a little bit on a big screen. But this stuff, what they were doing, was just out of control. You would hear a spooky sound of the camera all over the damn mat, all over the place. And that just happened way too much. It was like, okay, come on, guys.
Yeah, and I think that happens throughout the entire film.
And that's a cheap scream or whatever. I mean, once they do it 3 or 4 times, it's like, okay, I've been there,
Yeah, I want to say that the choices they make in terms of cinematography were not very good choices.
They're awful.
Because they should be that as the film progresses and the characters get a little bit more scared as the film goes along, it gets a little bit more shaky. But you're right, it starts off really freaking early in the movie as though it's set up
right at the beginning.
Set up to do that.
Yeah.
But without knowing why they're doing the video in the first place, it seems kind of a crazy notion for them. Like when you're watching your typical film, they have a reason. They're ghost hunters, so obviously they're going to show this to other people.
But let me ask a big question on this, because this is what you're talking about, stuff that confused you. This confused me. Who's shooting the footage?
I told you it switches the hands.
Yeah. Now I saw a found footage film just before I saw this one again, where they dealt with that beautifully. Where the same guy shot all of the footage in this crowd that was shooting, that was doing the, I won't give the movie away because we're going to talk about it down the road. And the guy actually says, "Here, take this." And one of the characters comes back, and you see you feel the exchange, because it's from the point of view of the camera, not from any of the actors. And they work it and make it clean. And it's like, that's so believable. But all through this movie, I kept thinking, who the hell's running the camera? Because there's three of them, and we're seeing three of them. Yeah. And then, who's running the camera?
That's what happens in the dinner sequence. Well, I was like, wait a second, all three of them are in the footage. Who the heck's shooting the camera?
Yeah, the same thing. Definitely in the dinner sequence. Okay, I said, okay, that's not found footage. That's just, I don't know. That's just the movie making part of it. I don't know.
Yeah, this is
the stuff that somebody didn't think this one through very well.
Yeah, it's annoying, and it is, And I know the film that you were talking about, because we are talking about.
Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yes. Because they do it right. And
they do. I was very impressed with that, because I thought, here they go. They're going to screw up now. I was like, no, you got it right. Okay.
And that will take you out of a found footage film almost immediately.
Oh, it does me. Yeah. Immediately. If I find myself one time during a found footage film saying, who's shooting the film? Mm-hmm. Then they've lost it. That's it.
I mean, what was it? The one the 100 Ghost
100 Ghost Street was notorious for doing that.
Yeah, they had two cameramen whose specific job is to shoot.
Yes.
And the other characters wouldn't necessarily have a camera unless they took it from one of the two main characters.
Yes, that's right.
That. And it was really well done.
Yeah, they got that one right. Yep.
I'm laughing because you're right. It's like
maybe one of the ghosts was shooting the film. That's all I could figure out. It might have been maybe it was Crazy Kane who was shooting the movie.
Yeah, the camera just went wherever it wanted to go, and So yes, I did.
That's right. It was AI. It was an AI camera. Okay.
I mean, to be honest with you, we talked about what we wanted to see in this movie and what could have made it a really good movie.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, do you have a theory on why filmmakers will break these rules and cheat like this and then expect audiences to buy them?
It's funny. I think in the case of these two guys who went to a pretty good film school in New York, and I won't mention any names because I don't think it's the fault of the film school, but I think sometimes these kids that are fresh out of film school make those mistakes too much because they try to make an artistic film, or they want a film that is, legitimate, and they show how good filmmakers they are. And you really can't do that with found footage. You can get away with crappy looking footage because it's supposed to be found footage. Mm-hmm. And that actually enhances the genre. And I think these guys I think they outsmarted themselves.
Interesting.
I mean, it just looked like they're trying way too hard on this, and then they sort of panicked in some scenes, and that's when you get the real wild camera work, and it's like, okay, they're going to think this is theatrical or this is artistic, but it's not. It's just annoying, and I think maybe the fact that they just got fresh out of art school probably hurt them more than anything else. They thought about it too much.
You know what? I actually think that you might be correct on this because when you now that you mentioned that they shot at 4 different locations, I believe now after what you just said that what could happen is they shot at one location and they realized they're missing shots and they shot it at a new location. But then those are like those close-ups and random things that look weird and odd.
Yes, no, they look out of place.
Shots, missing stuff. You know what? I can see that now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because we've had this discussion not on the podcast, but just when we were talking about this stuff, how difficult it is to make a found footage film.
Oh yeah.
As a director, or it takes more work than your standard film does to make it look right. Because if you try to make it look good, then you screw it up.
Yeah. Because
the definition of good in found footage is a whole lot different than the definition of good in another film.
Now, I will say this though, because this whole concept that we're talking about is one of the main reasons why George Romero shot Survival or Diary of the Dead the way he did.
Yes.
Like he couldn't, from what I've been from what I read and what he said that he couldn't understand how why anyone would keep the camera, so he had to give them a reason, and they were the reason is that they were filmmakers in the middle of making a horror film when this all happens.
Right.
And so that is the motivation for why they shoot everything.
Yeah, it was believable, and I totally bought into it. I said, yeah that's cool.
And they're editing it as they go along.
Yeah.
So that's really, really fucking clever.
It was brilliant. Yeah.
But with this film, because we don't know why, we don't have that motivation.
Well, like you said, you asked the most important question. Is like, why in the world did they decide to take a camera and shoot this to begin with? They didn't really say. Now, they could have easily solved that problem by saying, we ought to go do that and catch a ghost on film. That would be cool, or something to establish that. Yeah. But, they're just some unknown entity who shows up with a video camera and is shooting them. And we never know who this guy is. Or girl. I don't know. It could have been either one.
I mean, when John shows back up 2/3 of the way through the movie, he shows up with his girlfriend, and we're like, okay, so you guys have been in this whole fucking mental hospital the whole damn time.
Yeah.
So nothing shitty has been happening to you, but
nothing happened to them. That's right. They were, the ghost prize said, "Oh no, watch it. This is going to be fun. Let's just let them do
that." So
what would have been here? I'll throw this one out. If I'd been the writer or the director of this, what would make this film so cool? Yeah, have John and his girlfriend show up to play the practical joke. But when the three find them, they're dead. That would make it interesting.
Or they could have had those two filming stuff, and you'd be watching their film stuff,
and that would work. Yeah.
And then when it's revealed that they've been filming them the entire time,
that works too. But something like that. But that now we're cooking here. That's the footage that's found or whatever. But see, they didn't think through that. They didn't think that out.
No.
They were, and again, Alex and Sean were the two leads in the movie, because the girl just, they probably had seen her in an acting class or something and got her to join them. Well, yeah. But I mean, when they wrote this thing, it's sort of like, we're going to get all the good parts, and they forgot about who's shooting the damn movie. I mean, I can tell you that the name of the cinematographer's name was Eduardo. But we're not ever introduced to an Eduardo in this movie. So it wasn't, but that's who really was behind the camera.
Yeah. I just realized that on the poster, it says inspired by a true events. And I'm like,
but they can say that. And I remember people used to get this is 2012. And again, Apollo 18 was the same thing. It's based on a true story, true events. We're getting this out into the open and all that. And people are saying, they need to arrest these people. That can't be true. And I would get a kick out of people going to movies and it would say, based on a true story. I mean, even as far back as in the 70s with like Legend of Boggy Creek, based on a true story, and stuff like that. And then it was like, I remember someone in an interview, and I was falling for it, who said, it's a movie. You can say it's true, and it doesn't have to be true. It's a movie. And I went, oh, God, he's right. So now that doesn't bother me anymore. But it's like, it used to bother me a lot. But I was like, you can't say it's true, and it's not. And it's like, it's a movie. It never presents itself as anything other than a movie.
Oh, my God. You're so hilarious because you mentioned the Legend of Boggy Creek, and I grew up thinking that was true.
Oh, me too. Me too. I went to go see it because I thought, now we can see what this swamp creature Bigfoot thing is all about. Yeah, I want to learn the real story behind it. It was all made up.
It was all made up. Oh my God.
They made enough money to do a sequel.
I've still never seen that sequel.
I think with Marianne. Oh, let's say, was Marianne in the first one or the second one? I can't ever remember now.
I don't know because there's those
Dawn Wells.
There's those official non-official sequels. Return the Boggy.
Yeah, they used the word Boggy Creek in a couple of movies.
I haven't deciphered them all. I've seen only one of them, and that was enough for me.
I saw the original and probably a portion of the second one because it was so awful. It was just terrible. But it had a good run on the early days of cable because they didn't have anything else they could afford.
It did.
They were cheap.
Well, unfortunately for us, Greystone Park is not going to be one of those ones.
I think they would have been better off calling it Greystoke Park and put Tarzan in there. It would have probably been a much more interesting movie.
Then that would be closer to like the Jersey Devil or something. Like
the Ghost of Tarzan or something.
Like the X-Files version of
this is the movie Tarzan. It really happened, and there's what's happened. His ghost is in this.
Tarzan actually died when they took him to a mental hospital and thought he was crazy.
Yeah, you saw Tarzan in New York. That's based on a true story.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, so we've got our gripes about Greystone Park out there. I do like to, even when you're listening to us talk about it, there are a lot of bad things about this film, but But one of the good things is we mentioned is that they have a great use of the locations. Like I said, I did not know that the locations were for, but the locations do look good. Therefore, a lot of what like the mise en scène and the sets, which are not real sets, look amazing when you're watching the film.
Oh, yeah, it's very realistic. Yeah,
it's very realistic. It's just unfortunate that the overall story did not live up to the possible potential that it could have.
Yep.
But I do think that because it breaks so many rules of the found footage genre, it would have been just better off being a normal film that wasn't a found footage.
Yes.
And I think that if it had been that way, I think audiences would have been more receptive to the film.
Yeah, there's some great horror films out there about hauntings and stuff. The Haunting is a classic example of one. Yeah. And yeah, they could have made one of those, and it could have been, who knows what they could have done with it.
So, any other thoughts about Greystone Park? You got me saying Greystone Park.
I know. I couldn't resist.
Sorry, filmmakers, we did not mean to do that for your film, Greystone Park.
There's not one ape in this movie, I promise.
Nah. Unless it's a ghost ape.
Yeah, ghost ape.
Is there anything else that you'd like to say about Greystone Park?
No, just that, guys, I think you just overthought this one. And unfortunately, it hurt you.
Yeah. And I mean, it's found footage genre. So right there, for audience members, you've already got one strike against you if you can't convince them.
The
merits of the genre. And there's a lot of films out there at this time period. That's another unfortunate thing about the release of this film. But they tried, just like so many other.
Oh no! I mean, I'll give them that. I mean, there's some effort there.
I mean, but all right. I do want to thank you for joining us in this conversation, Jim, about Greystone Park.
Greystone, yes.
Oh my God. For everyone here listening to the podcast, what we love to do is we like to rate the films between 1 and 5, 1 being horrible, 5 being amazing.
Well, Kevin loves to do it, but some of us don't. But no, I'm just kidding.
We all love to do
I'll do it. Yeah.
So, Jim, where on your scale would you place Greystone Park, and what item or thing or incident from the film would you like to rate it based on?
Oh, that's a good question. I'm probably going to give it a 1 just because I think they just tried too much, and they just didn't capture the whole found footage thing. They really failed in that category all the way. And it was, whenever I got a situation like that where I can't remember if I've seen a movie before or not, and then halfway through go, oh God, yes, I have seen this movie. That's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a good sign. So, Yeah, sorry guys. I think I got to give you a 1 on this one.
That's okay. I'm going to give it a 1 too, but I'm going to give it a one of the rag dolls that the ghost on the poster for Greystone Park is carrying. I don't recall there being the rag doll.
The poster is awesome. I should give him some points for that. Yeah,
the poster is amazing. I love the poster.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the movie, but it's great.
That might be the hospital in the background. Maybe one of the 4 hospitals in the movie.
It could be.
Yeah. Poster is amazing.
Yes.
So they definitely had a great marketing campaign on it.
Yes, they did.
I mean, the thing about the sign on there say warnings: trespassers will be executed. I love the poster for this, so I can't knock them for the marketing effort for this one.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, so I want to thank you all for listening to us on Conversations in Horror. We've had a pleasure talking about the movie Greystone Park from 2012. From all of us here, we hope that you have a wonderful day, and please make sure to check out previous episodes in our podcast. Make sure to like, follow, share, subscribe so you never miss a new episode. Regular episodes are every Wednesday at 8 a.m. We also have a secondary podcast called Conversations in Hammer Studio Horrors, which delves deep into Hammer Studio films, which is every first and third Friday of the month. You can also check that one out as well on the finest podcast apps alive. From all of us, we hope you have a wonderful day, and stay out of those mental institutions, people. Have a good day. Conversations in Horror is a Broken Lighthouse Pictures production, written, produced, and directed by Kevin L. Powers, executive producer Kelly A. Inoka. All contents and material from this episode of Conversations in Horror is copyright 2025 Broken Lighthouse Pictures.